Ms. Bradford, in your testimony, did I understand you right, said that you want to end all plastic manufacturing?
I said the plastics industry must be stopped.
So does that mean end plastic manufacturing?
I mean, in my dream world, sure, but I think that, go ahead.
No, so and I don't mean to be condescending here. I just point out, what's going to replace your glasses? Like,
So
why
I
would you
do
wear your
know,
glasses around your face? They're made of plastic.
maybe.
No,
I don't
they
know
are.
what they're made out of.
They are. What about, and I'm just pointing out some things here, because I just want to be realistic when we're having conversations, because when statements are made like this, I just want to open people's eyes and say, well, okay, that's easy to say, but what's the solution? Your water bottle in front of you.
This one?
Yes. That plastic?
No.
The lid is. That's plastic.
Right. So
Right.
I would say to your
cell phone-
question that I would first be concerned about single-use plastics, and then we can talk about alternatives to this.
Your cell phone there. Is it plastic?
The cases, but it's glass because I broke
The components
the
inside of
screen
it's not
yesterday.
plastic? The components made out of it's not in plastic? They are. The water that you filled that water bottle up with, where'd you fill that water bottle up out of?
A water filling station.
All right, and it was delivered by a drink station that was plastic?
I didn't check.
The edges are. The piping coming to it. Now, you have a couple choices with the piping. We could go back to using wood, but then you have to line it in chemical. Or we could go back and use lead, because we used to have water piping that was lead. That was harmful to us. We go back to galvanized, but galvanized rust and had discoloration. We go back to copper, but copper has to be mined, and everybody wants to stop mining in the U.S. So you use plastic to deliver piping that you fill that water bottle up with today. I point this out because the clothes you have on, I guarantee you have plastic in it. The shoes you have on your feet, the soles of those shoes are plastic. So we talk about any plastic manufacturing, and everybody in here cheers when you say that, but everybody here is depending on plastic as you set. So if you want to end it, then quit using it. It's kind of like, I don't want to shop at certain places right now because I don't agree with some of their policies. I choose not to do that. You can choose to not use plastic. Do your work. If you believe it, then live it that way. And if not, then tell me what the solution is. Yeah, I just want to follow up with Ms. Bradford. You stated you're against single-use plastics. What specifically are you pointing at for single-use? What products are you talking about?
Thanks. So definitely straws, definitely plastic bottles. I won't say anything else because I can't think of anything else right now.
So are you for recycling and advanced recycling?
No, because it doesn't work and it doesn't happen.
Well, then in your case, and everything's single use at that point. If you're not for recycling, then you can't say you're against single use and you're okay with everything else. Because if you're against
I'm
it,
for
then you're against all
facts,
of it.
and I think only 9% worldwide are actually recycled.
That's why I say that we should focus more on recycling. Because if you can tell me you're for recycling, then maybe we can work to something. Because a while ago you did say you wasn't against all of it because you got to be realistic, but you're against single use because that's what the chairman asked you. And so if you're against single use, then you must be for recycling.
No, because it doesn't work.
Well, then that doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay.
Because you can't exist without plastic today. We've already pointed that out. And so I don't know what the alternative is. And we talk about this all the time. It's like Ms. Levin mentioned that that glass is an alternative. But if you remember, sir, at our last hearing we had on plastic, for the record, I submitted the McKinsey and Company study that showed that actually plastic has a less carbon footprint than glass. So where are we moving towards? What is it that we want to look to? If we're still for the middle class, and we got to have manufacturing, we pointed that out, that we can't do without it. We're against it, but yet everybody here is using it. I just see a lot of people having a thought process because it sounds good, but no one's actually living by what you believe.
I don't have any single-use plastics in my house.
You know that for a fact?
I know that for a fact because
What
I
products
go.
do you not have? What products? Because you just mentioned water bottles,
I don't have water bottles like that in my house.
but most of these water bottles are actually recycled, including the one that I'm having.
So
right
I am a masochist and I do participate in recycling. I just know that it doesn't work internationally. It's not adding up.
Well, I would suggest you maybe doing your homework a little bit more when you come up here and you start talking about this stuff, that you actually understand what it is, the impact that you're talking about.
I do my homework. I do understand the
Ma'am, you
impact.
can't-
I do know I'm wasting my time recycling because most of it's not recycled.
Then,
And that's because of the industry. And the fact
Okay.
that plastic is in everything is because the industry forced us to have
then
it.
quit using plastics.
Well, the industry should stop making them.
Quit using them. If you feel that way, then
I
quit.
do. I just told you I do not have single-use plastic bottles in my house. I
But
do what
you're
I
against-
can.
Hold on a second. You're against all plastic, but you have plastic all around you. So if you're against plastic, then don't use it. Live by what you're saying. There's a lot of people around here that I disagree with, but if you'd live it,
I do live
I
it.
respect it. Ma'am, you don't, because you have plastic on your face, you have plastic on the water bottle, you have plastic on your
I
feet,
do
you have
not
plastic on
own
your
companies to create these things. So I cannot make these things. But until they are available, we're stuck with some things. I do what I can.
Do you believe in? Do you believe that we should have solar systems, or not solar systems, but we should have solar panels on our house?
I do, but I'm here to talk about
So solar panels. are
what's
made
on the
out of plastic.
agenda.
I mean, they are.
And they're also not single use.
Neither is this bottle.